As the first light touches the ancient land, the herd begins its eternal journey. Leadership comes from wisdom earned over decades. She remembers every drought, every safe path. In the vast, sun-drenched landscapes of Africa, life is a tapestry woven from threads of instinct, memory, and profound social connection. For the African elephant, survival is not a solitary pursuit, but a collective endeavor, a symphony of coordinated action orchestrated by the wisdom of generations. Here, the herd is everything. It is a fortress on the move, a mobile classroom, and a sanctuary of familial love. At its heart is the matriarch, a living library of knowledge. Her mind holds the maps to ancient waterholes, the locations of secret fruit groves, and the strategies for navigating a world filled with both bounty and peril. She leads not through dominance, but through experience and the quiet confidence that her family places in her. Her every decision, when to move, where to rest, when to stand and fight, is weighed against the needs of the youngest, the oldest, and the most vulnerable members of her clan. The bonds that hold this society together are reaffirmed constantly through a language both subtle and deeply expressive. Every gesture reinforces the unity that keeps them alive. A gentle touch of a trunk to a cheek is a greeting, a reassurance, a sign of affection. A low rumble vibrating through the very ground they walk on is a call to gather, a warning of unseen danger, or a simple check-in asking, "Are you there? Are you well?" This is a society built on empathy. When a calf stumbles, a dozen trunks may reach out to steady it. When a member is distressed, the herd will often circle around, offering comfort and protection. They are capable of joy, grief, and a level of compassion that continues to astonish the scientists who study them. Their communication is a constant flowing river of information, much of it happening below the threshold of our own hearing. These infrasonic rumbles, too low for the human ear to detect, are their private channel, allowing them to coordinate movements and share vital news across miles of open savannah. It is a testament to an intelligence that is not just cognitive but profoundly emotional and social. Central to their interaction with the world and with each other is the most versatile appendage in the natural kingdom, the trunk. It is a marvel of biological engineering composed of over 40,000 individual muscles, yet containing not a single bone. This unique anatomy grants it an extraordinary combination of power and dexterity. Their trunks are tools of both precision and immense strength. With the delicate finger-like projections at its tip, an elephant can pick up a single berry without crushing it, or gently caress the face of a newborn calf. Moments later, that same trunk can be used to rip a 10-foot branch from a tree, lift a log weighing hundreds of pounds, or deliver a powerful defensive blow to a would-be predator. But its function extends far beyond mere manipulation. It is their primary organ of smell, sensitive enough to detect water from over 10 miles away. It is a hose capable of sucking up nearly 4 gallons of water at a time to be sprayed into the mouth. And when crossing deep rivers, it becomes a natural snorkel, allowing the massive animal to breathe while fully submerged. It is a trumpet for broadcasting warnings, a hand for greeting a friend, and a straw for drinking deep. The trunk is the elephant's window to the world and its key to survival. To fuel these colossal bodies, the herd is in a near-constant search for food. An adult elephant may consume up to 300 pounds of vegetation in a single day, a quest that occupies them for up to 18 hours. They are generalist herbivores, their diet shifting with the seasons. They graze on grasses in the wet season and browse on leaves, bark, and woody shrubs when the plains dry out. Their immense strength allows them to reshape their environment, pushing over trees to access the tender leaves at the top. In doing so, they act as ecosystem engineers, creating clearings that allow sunlight to reach the forest floor, promoting the growth of new grasses and benefiting countless other species. They are not just inhabitants of the landscape, they are its architects. Their giant molars, which are replaced up to 6 times in their lifetime, grind down the toughest of plant matter, a process essential for extracting every last nutrient from their fibrous diet. As the equatorial sun climbs to its zenith, beating down relentlessly on the plains, the matriarch leads her family on a pilgrimage passed down through generations. The destination is a lifeline in this arid world, the waterhole. The approach is often cautious, senses on high alert for predators that may be lying in wait. But as they reach the shore, caution gives way to relief and unbridled joy. At the water's edge, thirst meets relief, and ancient rituals continue. The adults drink deeply, siphoning gallons of life-sustaining water. The younger members, especially the calves, often abandon all decorum, plunging into the cool water with exuberant splashes. For them, this is a playground. They wrestle, they chase, they practice, using their still, unwieldy trunks, spraying each other in a display of pure, unadulterated fun. The waterhole is more than just a place to drink. It is a social club, a spa, and a critical point of renewal for the entire herd. Here, tensions are washed away, and the family bond is strengthened through shared experience and play. Once their thirst is quenched, another essential ritual begins. The elephants move from the water to the muddy shallows, seeking a different kind of therapy. They plaster their thick hides with a thick layer of wet earth. This is not just for fun, it is a vital part of their skincare routine. Mud becomes medicine, cooling their bodies and shielding them from biting insects. The thick, dark coating acts as a powerful natural sunscreen, protecting their surprisingly sensitive skin from the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. It also provides a formidable barrier against the persistent annoyance of biting flies and ticks, and helps to soothe any existing irritations or heal minor wounds. They use their trunks to spray the cooling mixture over their backs and into every hard-to-reach crevice. Calves watch and learn, mimicking the actions of their elders, caking themselves in the protective ooze. Following the mud bath, they will often seek out a dusty patch of earth for a final coating. The dust helps the mud to dry and cake on, forming a durable, protective crust that will last for hours. It is a two-step process, perfected over millennia, that is essential for their health and comfort in the harsh African wilderness. Within this moving city of giants, the future of the herd is nurtured with incredible care. A calf is born into the care of not just its mother, but a whole team of dedicated babysitters. These Allah mothers, aunts, cousins, and older sisters, form a protective ring around the young, guiding them, teaching them, and defending them with their lives. This communal approach to child-rearing is crucial, as a calf is born vulnerable and must learn a staggering amount in its first few years. It must learn what to eat, how to find water, how to use its trunk, and how to interpret the complex social cues of the herd. Play is a critical part of this education. Through mock fights and games of chase, young elephants develop their strength, coordination, and social skills, preparing them for the challenges of adulthood. The entire herd invests in its young, understanding that the knowledge and well-being of the next generation is the only guarantee of their own legacy. This intricate web of support, this deep-seated instinct to protect and to teach, is the very essence of life in the herd. It is a strategy that has allowed them to thrive for millions of years, a testament to the enduring power of family. Beneath the audible symphony of the savannah, a deeper conversation is taking place. It's a language of immense power, yet one that travels in near-total silence. They speak in frequencies we can barely hear, felt through the ground as much as the air. These are the infrasonic rumbles of the elephant, a form of communication so low on the musical scale it falls below the threshold of human hearing. Produced in a larynx similar to our own but vastly larger, these sound waves are uniquely suited to this expansive landscape. Unlike high-pitched sounds that are easily scattered by trees and terrain, these low-frequency waves can travel unimpeded for miles, carrying complex messages across the plains. A matriarch might send out a long, rolling call to check on the location of a neighboring family group, a deep thrum of inquiry that ripples through the earth. The reply, when it comes, is not just heard but felt. Through the highly sensitive cushioned pads of their feet and the delicate, nerve-rich tip of the trunk, they receive these seismic signals. It's a dual-channel system of extraordinary sophistication, communication through both air and earth. This allows them to create a three-dimensional map of their social world, knowing who is where, even when they are far beyond the horizon. These calls are not mere signals, they are rich with information. A subtle change in cadence can signal the discovery of a fruiting marula tree. A more urgent, staccato rumble can warn of a lion pride on the prowl. There are calls for coordinating movement, for gathering the herd, and even calls that seem to express profound emotion. The low, mournful dirges heard when a family member is lost. Scientists are only just beginning to compile a dictionary for this complex language, but it's clear that every vibration is packed with meaning, the invisible thread that stitches the fabric of their society together. But this is only one part of their lexicon. The more familiar trumpets, shrieks and roars are reserved for close-quarters communication, expressions of excitement during a reunion, a startling blast of alarm, or the playful squeals of the young. It is a language as rich and nuanced as the lives they lead, and their influence extends far beyond the sonic. As they move through their domain, they communicate with the landscape itself, not with sound, but with sheer presence and power. Every action shapes the environment, creating opportunities for countless other species. They are the architects of the African wilderness, the original ecosystem engineers. A bull, in a display of strength or simply to reach the tender leaves at the top, can push over a mature acacia tree. What looks like an act of destruction is, in fact, an act of creation. The fallen tree opens a clearing in the dense woodland, allowing sunlight to pour onto the forest floor for the first time in years. This sudden burst of light triggers an explosion of new life. Grasses, herbs, and nutritious shrubs sprout from the soil, creating a lush, accessible buffet for smaller browsers. Antelope, like impala and kudu, move in to graze on the tender new shoots. Insects colonize the decaying wood, which in turn provides food for birds and small mammals. A single deliberate act by one elephant has created a vibrant new micro-habitat, a bustling community of life. This creative force is written across the continent. Their ancient migratory paths, trodden for millennia, become deep channels in the landscape. These elephant highways act as natural fire breaks, preventing devastating wildfires from sweeping across the entire savannah. They also serve as thoroughfares for countless other animals, providing safe and easy passage through otherwise impenetrable thickets. Perhaps their most vital contribution is their ability to find water. In the depths of the dry season, when surface water has all but vanished, the matriarch leads her herd to a dry riverbed. Guided by memory and an incredible sense of smell, she knows precisely where to dig. Using their powerful feet, trunks and tusks, they excavate deep holes, tapping into the subterranean water table below. These elephant wells become life-saving oases. Soon, a procession of other creatures arrives: warthogs, baboons, zebras, and birds, all drawn to this gift of water, a legacy left in the sand. They are also the great gardeners of Africa. By consuming vast quantities of fruit, they become master seed dispersers. The seeds pass through their digestive system unharmed and are deposited miles away from the parent tree, complete with a generous pile of nutrient-rich fertilizer. This process is essential for maintaining the genetic diversity and health of the forests and savannas they call home. Without the elephant, the landscape would be a far poorer, less dynamic and less resilient place. This profound knowledge, how to find water, which trees to push over, which paths to follow, is not innate. It is learned. It is a cultural inheritance, passed down from one generation to the next through the herd's intricate social network. And at the heart of this network is the calf. The survival of the future rests on these small, wobbly shoulders, but they are never made to bear the burden alone. Every member of the herd plays a role in raising the young. This cooperative breeding, known as allomothering, is the cornerstone of their success. While a mother is singularly responsible for nursing her calf, she is supported by a team of dedicated babysitters. Her older daughters, her sisters, her cousins, all take turns watching over the little one. We see it here as a wobbly calf, no more than a few weeks old, is gently nudged by an older sibling. The youngster has wandered a little too far from its mother's side, distracted by a fluttering butterfly. The teenage female, patient and gentle, uses her trunk to guide the calf back to the safety of its mother's legs. This constant vigilance serves multiple purposes. It allows the mother precious time to feed, unburdened by constant worry. A well-fed mother produces more milk, giving her calf the best possible start in life. It also provides the younger females with invaluable parenting practice, preparing them for the day they will have calves of their own. Most importantly, it envelops the calf in a multi-layered shield of protection. When the herd is on the move, the calves are kept in the center, surrounded by a moving fortress of powerful adults. If a predator is detected, the herd will instantly form a defensive circle, with the vulnerable young protected in the middle, facing a formidable wall of tusks and trunks. This is more than just instinct. It is a highly coordinated strategy, orchestrated by the matriarch and executed by a family that understands the power of unity. The lessons are constant and subtle. A calf watches its mother use her trunk to deftly pluck a single ripe fruit. It sees an ant test the wind for danger. It learns from the matriarch's deep rumble of reassurance that the approaching storm is nothing to fear. This is their school, and the curriculum is survival. The bonds forged here are among the strongest in the animal kingdom, built on a foundation of trust, empathy, and shared experience. It is this legacy of knowledge, of community, and of care that ensures the elephant's story will continue, written not just in the landscape, but in the hearts and minds of the next generation. For millennia, these ancient pathways were etched into the memory of the herd, passed down through generations like a sacred map, a map leading to water, to food, to survival. But today, the landscape is changing at a pace their evolutionary memory cannot comprehend. The world is shrinking around them. Invisible lines, made terrifyingly real by wire and post, now sever the arteries of the continent. These are not just fences, they are walls that divide families, block access to vital resources, and create islands of wilderness in a sea of human development. An elephant's world is defined by its freedom to move, and with every new barrier, that world becomes a little smaller, a little more precarious. This is the front line of a quiet conflict, one fought not with weapons, but with land. A struggle for space that pits the needs of a growing human population against the ancient rights of the planet's largest land animal. The pressure is immense, and it forces these intelligent, sensitive beings into ever closer contact with people, a proximity that is fraught with danger for both. Yet the fragmentation of their home is not the only shadow that stalks them. A far more sinister threat lingers, driven by greed and a global appetite for a material that is both beautiful and cursed: ivory. Each tusk represents a life brutally cut short, a family shattered, and a lineage of wisdom lost forever. Human expansion and poaching threaten their ancient ways. The poacher's bullet or poison arrow doesn't just kill an individual, it rips a hole in the complex fabric of elephant society. When a matriarch falls, decades of accumulated knowledge, the locations of hidden waterholes, the social etiquette of the herd, the strategies for surviving drought, can vanish in an instant. The orphans left behind face a desperate struggle for survival, deprived of their mother's milk and protection. The trauma inflicted upon the survivors is profound, leaving scars that can affect the behavior of the herd for years to come. This is not subsistence hunting. It is industrial-scale slaughter, orchestrated by sophisticated international criminal syndicates. It is a war on wildlife, and for a long time it seemed to be a war the elephants were losing. But in the face of this darkness, a new kind of warrior has emerged. Men and women from local communities dedicating their lives to protecting these giants. They are the rangers, the guardians of the savannah. Their work is relentless and perilous. They patrol vast, unforgiving territories, often on foot, tracking not only elephants, but the armed and dangerous gangs who hunt them. They are the first line of defense, a human shield standing between the elephants and extinction. Their tools are a blend of ancient fieldcraft and modern technology. They read the signs in the dust, the broken branches, the faintest of tracks. But they also deploy drones that scan the horizon from above, thermal cameras that pierce the darkness of night, and GPS collars that provide real-time intelligence on herd movements. This data is a game changer, allowing teams to anticipate threats, deploy patrols more effectively, and respond to poaching incidents with unprecedented speed. However, enforcement alone cannot win this fight. The long-term survival of elephants depends on something more profound: the support and partnership of the people who share their land. A revolution in conservation is underway, one that recognizes that wildlife and humans must not only coexist but thrive together. But protection and cooperation offer hope for the future. This new philosophy is built on a simple premise: a living elephant must be more valuable to the local community than a dead one. Across Africa, innovative programs are turning this idea into reality. Communities are becoming the primary beneficiaries of conservation. Revenue from ecotourism, where visitors pay to see these magnificent animals in their natural habitat, is funding schools, clinics, and clean water projects. Local people are being trained as guides, trackers, and lodge staff, creating sustainable livelihoods that are directly linked to the well-being of the elephant herds. When a community sees the elephant not as a pest or a commodity, but as a partner in their prosperity, the dynamic shifts entirely. Poachers find no shelter here. Instead, the community becomes the eyes and ears of the rangers, an extension of the protective network. This collaborative approach is now mending the fences, both literal and metaphorical. One of the most ambitious strategies is the creation of wildlife corridors. These are protected pathways of land that connect fragmented national parks and reserves, stitching the landscape back together. They are lifelines, allowing elephants and other wildlife to once again follow their ancient migratory routes, to find new mates and to access resources beyond the confines of a single park. It is a monumental undertaking requiring complex negotiations with landowners, governments and communities. But where they have been established, the results are transformative. We are witnessing the resilience of both nature and the human spirit. It is a testament to the fact that when we choose to work with nature rather than against it, incredible things are possible. The future is far from certain, and the threats have not vanished. But the tide is beginning to turn. Hope is no longer a distant dream. It is a tangible reality, built on the courage of rangers, the wisdom of communities, and the unwavering commitment of conservationists around the globe. And at the heart of it all is the elephant itself. An animal of profound intelligence, deep emotional capacity, and an indomitable will to survive. They have weathered ice ages, climatic shifts, and countless other challenges over millions of years. Now they face their greatest test, navigating a world dominated by us. In their survival, we see a reflection of our own capacity for empathy and foresight. Protecting them is not just about saving a single species. It is about preserving the integrity of entire ecosystems. They are the gardeners of the savannah, dispersing seeds, creating clearings, and shaping the very landscape they inhabit. Their presence is a barometer for the health of the wild. As long as they roam, the wild still breathes.